Time moves relentlessly, stealing away the faces and voices that defined our brightest memories. It's a heartbreaking reality that so many cherished celebrities died in this week, leaving a void that feels impossible to fill. At Celebrity Tribute Hub, we pause to honor these legends whose contributions shaped our lives, ensuring their light never truly fades. Hans Herrmann was a titan of motorsport's golden age, a fearless competitor who stared down danger in an era when racing was raw and unforgiving. As one of the last surviving drivers of the legendary Silver Arrows team, he embodied a lost era of grit and mechanical mastery, culminating in his historic victory at the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1970. On January 9, 2026, the checkered flag waved one last time for Hans at the age of 97, following natural causes. He leaves behind a legacy of speed, courage, and an indomitable spirit that will forever echo on the world's greatest racetracks. Beatriz González was not just a painter, she was the artistic conscience of Colombia, a visionary who dared to reflect her nation's complex reality through a vibrant, often challenging lens. She transformed history into pop art, using bold colors to critique political violence and societal shifts, making her one of the most influential Latin American artists of the modern era. We said goodbye to this cultural icon on January 9, 2026, at the age of 93, though the specific details remain private. Her canvases remain as powerful testaments to truth, ensuring her masterful voice will resonate for generations of artists to come. Uļjana Semjonova was a literal and figurative giant in the world of sports, standing nearly 7 feet tall and absolutely dominating women's basketball for 2 decades. As the unstoppable force center for the Soviet Union, she captured 2 Olympic gold medals and remained undefeated in international play for an astounding 18 years, fundamentally changing how the game was played. The world lost this incredible athlete on January 8, 2026 at age 73, with details of her passing undisclosed. Uļjana was more than a player, she was an era unto herself, a towering symbol of unbreakable dominance on the hardwood. Philippe Junot was a man synonymous with European elegance and high society, a venture capitalist who lived a life captured in flashbulbs during a glamorous era. He became globally famous as the dashing first husband of Princess Caroline of Monaco, a royal romance that captivated the world's attention in the late 1970s and defined a specific moment in pop culture history. He passed away on January 8, 2026, at the age of 85, though his family has kept the cause of death private. Beyond the headlines, he represents a bygone age of jet-set mystique that continues to fascinate us today. Terry Yorath was the beating heart of Welsh football, a tenacious midfielder whose grit defined the legendary Leeds United sides of the 1970s. He transitioned from a celebrated player into an inspirational manager, guiding the Wales national team to the brink of World Cup glory and instilling a profound sense of national pride in his countrymen. We mourn the loss of this footballing hero who died on January 8, 2026, at age 75, with causes undisclosed. Terry's passion for the beautiful game was infectious, and his legacy lives on in every Welsh fan who dares to dream of victory. Sir Tim Shadbolt was far more than a politician. He was a cultural phenomenon in New Zealand, a charismatic activist whose infectious humor and genuine love for people made him a beloved national treasure. As the longest-serving mayor in the country's history, famously leading Invercargill with a smile, he proved that public service could be both serious and deeply human. Sir Tim took his final bow on January 8, 2026, at the age of 78, leaving us without details of his passing but with countless memories. His legacy is one of authentic connection, reminding us that leadership works best with a touch of humanity. Glenn Hall, known reverently as Mr. Goalie, was an NHL icon whose bravery between the pipes redefined the position during hockey's toughest era. A Hall of Famer, he famously played without a mask and set one of sport's most unbreakable records by playing 502 consecutive complete games, a feat of endurance that seems impossible today. The hockey world lost this absolute legend on January 7, 2026, when he passed away from natural causes at the age of 94. Glenn Hall didn't just stop pucks, he stood as a monument to resilience, forever changing the way we view the goaltender's art. Martin Chivers was the definition of a classic English centre-forward, a powerful and prolific striker who became an absolute legend at Tottenham Hotspur during their glory days. His thunderous shot and incredible scoring ability led Spurs to 2 League Cups and the UEFA Cup, cementing his place in the hearts of the White Hart Lane faithful while also earning caps for England. We said farewell to Big Chiv on January 7, 2026 at age 80, though the cause of death remains private. His ability to electrify a stadium with a single strike remains a cherished memory for everyone who watched him play. Béla Tarr was a titan of European cinema, a Hungarian auteur whose uncompromising vision created films that were less like movies and more like profound, immersive experiences. He was revered globally for masterpieces like The 7-Hour Satin Tango and The Turin Horse, using long takes and stark black-and-white imagery to explore the deepest depths of the human condition. The film world lost this visionary genius on January 6, 2026 at age 70, following natural causes. Béla Tarr didn't just make films, he forced us to slow down and truly look at the world, a cinematic legacy that will never be duplicated. Doug LaMalfa was a dedicated public servant who spent his life advocating for the people of California, believing deeply in the power of representation to improve lives. As a long-serving U.S. congressman, he became a familiar voice on Capitol Hill, fighting tirelessly for the agricultural communities and rural districts he called home. Tragically, his service was cut short on January 6, 2026, when he passed away unexpectedly from a medical emergency at the age of 65. His sudden departure leaves a significant void in the halls of leadership, remembered as a man who gave his final years to the constituents he served with pride. Sidney Kibrick was a cherished living link to the golden age of Hollywood, a child star whose face brought joy to millions during the Depression era and beyond. He is best remembered for his role as Woim, the sidekick to the neighborhood bully in the iconic and beloved Our Gang comedy shorts, entertaining generations of fans. Sidney took his final bow on January 6, 2026, at the impressive age of 97, passing peacefully from natural causes. John Cunningham was the quintessential character actor, a versatile talent whose recognizable face graced countless stages and screens over a distinguished, decades-spanning career. From the bright lights of Broadway to memorable gravitas in films like Dead Poets Society and 6 Degrees of Separation, he brought intelligence to every performance. The curtain fell for John on January 6, 2026, at the age of 93, after a long life ending due to natural causes. He was a craftsman of the highest order, proving that there are no small parts, only actors who leave an indelible mark on the stories they help tell. Ahn Sung-ki was revered as the nation's actor in South Korea, a cultural pillar whose incredible career mirrored the growth and international rise of Korean cinema itself. Across more than 130 films, including masterpieces like Selmido and The Housemaid, he captivated audiences with performances of profound depth, humanity, and quiet strength. The global film community was stunned on January 5, 2026, when he passed away at 74 following a tragic medical complication involving choking. His loss is felt deeply across borders, remembering a cinematic giant whose work built bridges and touched the hearts of millions around the world. Michael Reagan carried one of the most famous surnames in modern American history, navigating life under the immense spotlight of being the eldest son of President Ronald Reagan and Jane Wyman. Yet, he carved his own distinct path as a conservative political commentator, a popular syndicated radio host, and a best-selling author championing causes close to his heart. Michael passed away on January 4, 2026, at the age of 80, with the specific causes of his death remaining undisclosed by his family. He leaves behind a complex legacy tied to American history, remembered for finding his own voice while honoring the weight of his family name. Eva Schloss was far more than a witness to history. She was a beacon of resilience, whose life story became a powerful testament to the human spirit's ability to overcome darkness. As the stepsister of Anne Frank and a fellow Holocaust survivor, she dedicated her later life to educating the world about tolerance, earning an MBE for her tireless peace activism. Eva's remarkable journey ended on January 3, 2026, at the age of 96, passing peacefully from natural causes. Her voice may now be silent, but her message of hope against hatred remains an essential lesson for humanity that we must never forget. As we say goodbye to these remarkable souls, we are reminded that while their time here has ended, the memories they gave us remain immortal. Their art, their courage, and their stories are now a part of us forever. Which of these incredible legends will you miss the most? Share your favorite memories in the comments below so we can honor them together.